So let's draw some JoJo's Bizarre Adventure characters, starting off with Els Marine, who is known for his stand, the weather report, and the fact that he is the twin brother of Poochie, even though he looks suspiciously different from him. And the major reason Jolene and his party was able to win against Poochie in part 6. If you know, you know. So while drawing this character, I accidentally draw his main body a bit too large. Because of it, I need to cram the leg in as less of a space as possible. So that is the reason it is in that weird bended leg position. Also for the head, it was rather difficult for me to fit all the face expression in that less of a space. And the difficult part while drawing the head was the cap, specifically those two pins that come out as a horn. Yeah, trying to differentiate them from the actual head was quite difficult. Other than that, the main body was quite forgiving because it was only one shade of color, so it was not that difficult to draw for me. As for the rest of the body, I need to draw those ribs in his, which was rather difficult, especially the heart-shaped collar. But fortunately, there were not that many folds in the actual body, so it was quite easy for me to draw. I hope you like that result. Then I started drawing the stand. So one of the difficult things while drawing the stand, the weather report, was one, the clouds which were in between and covering parts of the actual stand, and second, it need to be shaded in a very specific way so that it doesn't blend up and get camouflaged with the actual blue marine. So yeah, also while drawing it, I realized I can just hide a good chunk of its physique behind blue marine, so it made it a little bit more easy for me to actually draw him. And I would say the difficult part was actually the shading. The head spike were a bit difficult to draw, but yeah, this is the end product. I hope you like it. Next up, I decided to draw Risotto Nero from the Golden Wind. He is the leader of Assassination Squadron, and let's just say he is inspired by a sort of gesture when it comes to his fashion sense. And weirdly enough, he actually has black eyes. Like, his pupils are normal, but the rest of the eye, it is not white in color but black in color for some reason, which I found very cool and creepy at the same time, for to speak. As for his dress was a little bit difficult to draw. To be specific, the headpiece, the cap, was a lot difficult to draw. Thanks to the marker, shading became a lot more easier, and his clothes, and especially his cloak, should I say cloak, I don't know what to call it, was rather weird because it needed to show his muscles. At the same time, it should show the bend and the flow of the cloak as well, and that was a little bit of problem for me. Next step was his legs. I accidentally drew once again him a bit too large, so I needed to cram the legs in as less of a space as possible. Here is the finished product, but then I realized that I forgot to draw Metallica, so here is the little tiny Metallica just for you guys. Drawing him was rather fun, not that difficult. The most difficult part was the hat and the way his shirt is. Here is the result. Here is the finished product. Other than his clothing and me forgetting to draw his legs, the hands were also a lot difficult. Also, I accidentally forgot to draw his stand, so here is one little teeny tiny Metallica for you, which is not that small, but yeah, I hope you like this little touch of mine. Next up, I decided to draw the main character of JoJo Lands. Yes, it is the man himself, the man, myth, and legend, JoJo. He is literally half Dio and half JoJo. How bizarre is it? So, if you don't know the story of JoJo Land, it's all about JoJo doing some shady stuff and getting filthy rich. And in the process, he figure out that there is a magical rock which attracts money. I don't know how that works, but the foundation was laid in the previous parts, so perhaps it makes sense. And the best part, it takes place in Hawaii, which nice. So while drawing the character, drawing his face was a bit difficult because he is looking down, but I accidentally drew his pupils in a way that it is facing upwards, so it kind of messed up. And as for the second pupil, it was covered by his hair, so I'm thankful for that. Also, while drawing him in the perspective, I keep on messing around with his legs and was not satisfied that his legs were. To be specific, his his right leg and the orientation of the knee and the joints. But after some trial and error, I was able to figure that out. Same goes for the left leg. And as for the shoe, his left shoe is not as great as I want it to be. It is not doing as well as I want it to be because of the weird thing with his shoes. If it was like something like a Jordan, it could be a lot easy because I practice to draw Jordan a lot more than these standard, let's just say weird. I don't know what type of shoes they are, but yeah. Also, the slit in the pants was a bit difficult to draw. Also, the shades. There were a lot of folds in the cloth, the pants, which I'm quite bad at drawing, and there was a lot of shading. So, yeah, I fumbled the bag in this one a lot. Also, the other part which was difficult for me is all those weird pieces like the heart, the wings, perhaps the mirror, and a strap in his chest. So, yeah, that was a bit difficult for me to draw. Here is the final result. Drawing the shirt and the white shirt underneath that weird type pant shirt combo was actually not that difficult. But and the hands were further in perspective, and I'm quite happy with the way the hands turned out to be in this one. Next, I decided to draw November rain, and a major part of the November rain itself is quite a bizarre stand because it doesn't look like a humanoid stand while also looking like a humanoid stand. So a good chunk of the Rain's abdomen was hiding behind JoJo, so I didn't need to draw it. And I just drew the big spider arms, I suppose is what it called. It was actually rather easy to draw those spider arms. The difficult part was to draw those weird feathers coming out of his chest because they're actually a lot bigger than I actually showed them. So it's more like November rain is tilting forward because of which the feathers are looking a lot smaller in perspective. I hope you get my thought process in this one. But yeah, the problem with this, which I will admit, is that the feathers should be a lot bigger than I drew them. But yeah, because of the perspective, it looks a lot smaller. But I hope you like the way it turned out to be. Here it is. Next, I decided to draw what is arguably the most popular JoJo in entirety of the franchise, aka Jotaro Kujo. So while drawing this, I realized that there is only one color in the coat and the pants, so it was a blessing for me. Again, doing the folds in the shirt and the pant was a bit difficult, and those weird shoulders, I don't know why, but the shoulder itself a bit looks a bit unnatural to me in the actual show as well. But yeah, it is a bit stylized with the shoulder pads, but I'm okay with that. Also, the fact that there are not that many different color palettes and that many diversity of color in this color palette of this character did allow me, which also makes sense because he's quite stoic in nature. And doing his face, the most difficult part was the shading because there's a shadow coming down from his head. The shadow is a lot more intense in his forehead than his rest of the face. His left arm, I'm quite disappointed with the way his fist came out to be. And once again, the hand in the hat, it also looked a bit weird. But yeah, other than that, I once again didn't do the justice to the legs and decrease their length. I can blame that to perspective, but at this point I really need to reconsider to learn how to draw legs once again because the proportions, I think the legs should be a centimeter or so a bit longer than what I made them. But other than that, the difficult part was the folds of the clothes, doing different folds of the clothes and the shadows in the folds of the clothes and the chin, especially the chin. I drew Shireen a lot smaller than in the actual show, so I'm sorry for not doing justice to the chain. Justice for the chain. Please comment in the comments that. Please comment that in the comments down below. I don't know why. Just do that. Give me some engagement in this video. I'm doing this all for nothing for you guys. Show some blessing to me, please. Anyway, for the rest of the body, I did some basic ass shading. Again, the folds in the pant were a little bit difficult for me to draw at this point, but I'm still doing practice to draw that folds and how to draw folds in the character. So this is the final result. Then I decided to cramp in Star Platinum. Yeah, cramping him in is the right word to say because there was not that much of space left because Jotaro is quite a large dude. So I just put his face. I will say that I should have put his face a bit low so that I can give some space to his hair, but you can say it's part of the perspective at this point. I did his hand, drew his other hand, and drew his legs behind Jotaro. One good part was I don't need to draw his entire abdomen because Jotaro is in front blocking the view, so take it the way it is right now. Anyway, drawing Star Platinum was not that difficult because he, let's just say, don't have that much accessories in him. So it was quite easy. The most difficult part was to make sure that he doesn't blend in, and I guess I make it a bit more camouflaged than it should be, but yeah, it is easy to distinguish. It is not that it is not mixing up that badly, so yeah. I'm quite happy with the result. The one little regret with the Star Platinum is that his legs. Is that I should have drawn Jotaro a bit smaller so that I can give Star Platinum the space he deserves. Also, I drew Star Platinum's legs a bit smaller than they were. So yeah, I should have given some more bulk to the legs and the boot of Star Platinum in this one. But other than that, I hope you like the way this one came out to be. I tried my best that the main body does not get camouflaged by the stunt user, and this is the final result. I hope you like it. And with that, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe and share this video. And tell me what improvements should I be doing in my sketching to make it a bit better in comments. Thanks for watching.